Okay, now we're back and we're on to Module 2, where we're looking at formulating the methods and some ethical issues. So read Chapter 4 and 5 for our quiz, and then I want you to find an article on your topic. So I gave you feedback, and hopefully you've taken that feedback, and some of you emailed me some questions, which is great. We can go back and forth. And now I want you to find an article, because I think this is a good application. Find an article that is on your topic that you're interested in. I prefer experimental, but you can go with any type. We don't mind. But each article for their methods section should describe what they've done. Who did they work with, our participants? What did they do, our procedures? What instruments did they use to measure, and how did they analyze? So I want you to pull one out, and you're going to start collecting these articles. So hold on to this. So you use this one for this assignment. It's going to come back in the end. At the end of the course, I'm going to have an annotated bib that you'll be doing. So you can use this for your annotated bib at the end. And this, our assignment, is kind of in the annotated bib format if you answer those questions. So have fun looking, and please use Concordia's researches. Go to, and when you get onto CougarNet, that's how I would go there. Don't go to the main page, then library. Get into your CougarNet, and then get into library, because then you're already logged in. And that way, then you can go to the EBSCO online search engines, and I would highlight a couple of the different search engines that they have, keeping a little bit broad. If you hit all, you're going to get everything from every discipline. So I know Sport Discus, and I know that even Academic Premier is okay, kind of a general one, but there's some more health-related ones, which is more pertinent to us. So that's how I would search. And again, if you start spinning your wheels more than 30 minutes searching, pick up the phone and call the library. They're amazing. They want to help you. So, you might not find what you're looking for, or, you might be in a totally different area. I don't know where you will be, but sometimes that happens. Don't stress too much. Reach out to someone. We have these resources. That's what being part of Concordia is about. And then the second, your assignment this week will be getting your NIH certification. We're going to walk you through there, and that really goes over the ethical behaviors. There's been some bad ethical behaviors in research, and we don't want to repeat those lessons. So now all institutes that do research have what we call an institutional review board, the IRB. And this IRB is in place to make sure what we're doing is appropriate. So when I do research, or when you guys do your research, you have to go through the institutional IRB and just say what I'm doing. You guys spell out your methods to make sure that you're doing them right in your procedures. And sometimes research does involve some deception, especially with psychological aspects. But typically with not physical activity, but measurement, especially with exercise, no one's going to volunteer to do muscle biopsies. But how do we get that done? It's sometimes done. And when we look at behavioral research, incentives can influence it. So that's going to mess up your results. So I do a lot of behavioral research, and some folks are like, give them incentives, give them incentives. Well, then I'm not really measuring the right behavior and how they would react to stuff. So you got to keep those things in mind and make sure that you're being inclusive of all different folks, that you're not, a lot of the research, traditional old research is men. It's not a lot of women. And we know that women and men differ, especially with cardiovascular disease. That's why so many women, we didn't pick up the cardiovascular disease way back when, because they didn't present the same signs and symptoms of men, because they've been studied and women weren't, and now women are being studied. So we're trying to be more ethical in our research as a nation, so we have these systems in place. So get that done. It's not hard. It goes through it. You self-study. They have a test, and that sets you up for success. If you are 1 year out, and let's say, I just did this 6 months ago, fine. 6 months is okay. 1 year is okay. But 5 years, no, you gotta redo it. So please make sure that you have an updated NIH certificate. Some of you already have it. Probably a handful of you have it. Most of us don't. It's great to get that one. There's some other ones. The city is very popular with some other institutes, and that's a little bit more in depth than the NIH. But it'll just depend on your institute. Most of them accept NIH. So easy breezy this week, and again, reach out if you need me.